Welcome everybody! Today we have Annie Seel. And
Hello.
she is known as the motor race princess from Sweden. Isn't that right?
That's the name in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to people to get to know you a little bit, to know about maybe your childhood, like what you did when you were young. Was it always motorsport, or what happened in the young life of Annie?
We're actually sitting where it all started. This is my motorcycle garage in a big concrete building where I grew up. And I've kept it, and it's just loaded with stuff from my career. I've been racing for 30 years, but I'm a bit older than that. So it wasn't all motorcycles. I used to love horses, the fast horses.
Yeah. So you upgraded from a more mechanic version of horsepower.
Yeah, because next door here, this is in Täby, it's 15 minutes outside Stockholm. We used to have a horse racetrack.
Yeah.
And I was there every day after school taking care of the racehorses. And then when I was 15 years old, I saw this motorcycle guy doing stunts on a motorbike. And I thought, wow, the bike was jumping, was going on the back wheel, just like on a horse, you know. And I have to try this. So a couple of months later, I got a motorbike. Awesome. So that's how I started. Yeah. And I still got the base for my motorcycling racing here in the same garage.
Yeah, that must bring up a lot of memories for you.
Yeah, this is the base. This is where all it happened.
Yeah. So can you explain a little bit about the racing world for people that doesn't know it? How is the people? Is it like friendly or very competitive, or what do you do in a week? Is it a lot of race? Is it a lot of the theoretical things behind the scene that we don't know about?
Yeah, well, I can say the motor racing world is not just one world. It's like if you talk about other sports, it's not the same. Okay, if you're in football, it's not the same as golf because it's got a little ball. So the same with the motorcycle or motor racing world. You got the really like the off-road racing scene. We live in tents. We're out there getting dirty. It's about survival. And then you got your Formula One, where everything is glamour and champagne. So the motor racing world is totally different, depends on what kind of motor racing you're doing. Yeah. And of course it's competitive. Yeah. Because it's a race. Someone has to win.
But are you friendly to each other still, or no?
Depends on where in the game you are. Yeah. If you're number one, everybody's out to get you. Everybody's chasing you. And of course you can be friendly to a certain point, but then you have to mind your own race.
Ja. Nu ska vi prata i telefon och det handlar om en bedrift.
Ja, det handlar om Annie Seel som inte bara har kört Paris-Dakar på motorcykel utan nu också möjligen får chans att göra det i bil. Och i så fall är du med oss på telefon, va? Tja!
God morgon!
Du blir ju första då från Sverige som har gjort denna bedrift, både motorcykel och bil.
Ja, alltså det här var min dröm länge och det är ett långt arbete att komma i mål i Dakar, det vet vi allihopa. Men nu öppnades en liten dörr på gräns. Jag är på väg till England och ska testa med ett engelskt rallyteam då.
Ja, och vad är vad är själva klon i det här testet då? Vad är det du måste klara?
Ja, alltså det är ju basic, de här, alltså körning med sån här rallybil, och de är ju inte som en vanlig bil, allting är mycket större, det är speciella växellådor och sånt. Och sen ska man funka med teamet och sånt. Jag känner dem sedan många år, men inte att ha varit i teamet. Och så ska man ju lära sig bilen, och det är lite meckkunskaper och sånt, så att man måste dit och göra test och leverera och prestera. Så hoppas man blir godkänd.
Men det här med att köra motorcykel och köra bil,
det måste vara svårare att köra motorcykel i sanden, eller?
Ja, så är det ju. Motorcykel är ju det hårdaste sättet att åka Dakarrallyt på, det är det ingen snack om. Och så kan man ju tycka att då blir det ju enkelt att köra bil, men det är ju väldigt mycket ny teknik. Alltså köra fast med en motorcykel är en sak, köra fast med en bil och stå och skotta och gräva. Det vill man inte göra i onödan, så att det är mycket som måste läras för att lyckas bli bra i bilklassen också.
Mm.
Ja, det låter ju väldigt spännande där, men vi får lycka till helt enkelt.
Ja, som sagt, det är ju så här. Alltså jag har ju nerverna nästan på utsidan bara för att ens ha fått den här chansen. För ett år sedan så trodde jag inte att jag skulle kunna åka Dakar-rallyt för jag hade precis opererat axeln. Nu står man lite här med dörren på glänt till hetluften igen, så att om allting slår väl ut så står jag där på startlinjen.
Det hoppas vi. Men ska vi berätta en skum grej? Dakar-rallyt går inte i Dakar i år.
Nej, precis. Det är lite stökigt i Nordafrika. Så sen 2009 så har det flyttat till Sydamerika. Så att den 4 januari så startar vi från Buenos Aires. Och så genom Argentina, Bolivia, Chile och så tillbaka till Buenos Aires.
Ja, det blir en resa det.
Du, tack för att vi fick tala med dig. Och ta det lite lugnt också. Det är inte en helt ofarlig tävling det här.
Nej, men jag brukar säga att man ska åka fint och man ska åka länge så kommer man i mål.
Vi hörs efter rallyt. Hej då!
Ja, hej!
And it's just checking out what's happening in the top level of Formula One. Are they friendly? Maybe on the surface. For me, in the off-road world, where you're actually camping outside, the motors are breaking down in the desert or somewhere, of course we try to help each other. And if there's an accident, we have to stop and call for medics. Otherwise you're excluded from the race. So I would say there's very much sportsmanship.
Yeah, okay, awesome.
Which is respect for what we're doing, respect for competitors. But of course, if you can overpass someone, you will, because it's still a race.
Yeah.
So.
And theoretically, behind the scenes, do you have to practice the map? Maybe.
Depends on what kind of race.
Yeah.
In the Dakar Rally, which is the biggest off-road race in the world, the maps are secret. So you don't know each morning where you're going. And it's about navigation, so you have to find the best route to where you're going.
Okay.
But then you have other kind of racing where you do 100 laps on the same track. Of course you know where you're going. So it's totally different. What's the game? What's the kind of race? Now I just came back from Mongolia in China, and that was a navigation game. We got a blank piece of paper and just plotted out GPS points. But we're not allowed to have a GPS when we navigate. We use a compass with a sighting and a trip meter.
Yeah.
And you have to go blind, just follow the compass. Through
school.
terrain.
Yeah.
Real old school.
Awesome. And you had a environmental friendly car, right?
Yeah, we have a Toyota hybrid, and we also had a total electric car, but of course the range of the batteries today are not where they have to be for the off-road racing. But it's coming, the development is going that way. So
maybe you can have like, the Formulettes where they stop and they change tires, but here you just like out with the whole battery, in with a new one, and you can go again.
Absolutely. That's refueling in the new world, of course. But the development is going that way. Or there's other techniques. There's hydrogen, which
I
is
think
even more
that's
friendly.
really important. I think you are the forefront of the racing and motor, and if you can do that in an environmental friendly way, that's gonna drive everything in motors.
Yes, because I also think in mankind, it's always pushing the limits.
Yeah.
That's what mankind been doing forever.
Yeah.
So for even this development, you have to take it to an extreme level to push the limit. And that's what we're doing. And when we pass those limits, then you can implement it to everyday life. And that's the same with electric or whatever vehicle, what's going to be the new environmental fuel. So I wouldn't say electric is the most, because somewhere else you need to drain earth for the minerals to make the batteries.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's just one little
a better
side
solution
step.
might be up there.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so.
And what is it that keep the passion? Why is this still fun? And what's some of the favorite big races that you really remember?
I'm not only a race driver, I'm also an explorer, adventurer.
Yeah.
And that's why I've come to these big races in the terrain, because you're also exploring new continents, new countries, new people, new cultures, and you have to tackle all the environment to get through. And I would say the best way to get through is to be friends with terrain, environment, people, competitors, to get to the finish line, which is also a way of growing as a person. And I think when I raced the motorbikes all around the world, off-road, and every motorbike race I finished. Not because I was the best driver, I had the best bike, I didn't have the best or biggest team. Sometimes it was just me and the motorbike. But I always try to have a strategy to find a way through, even if it's hard. And then I try to get as many people to be on my team. Even if we're competitors, we're still doing this together.
Yeah. Awesome.
So.
And what countries have you raced in now? I think I saw Germany and
All
somewhere in
continents.
South
So
America.
Australia.
Yeah.
Different countries in Africa. Africa is a huge continent.
Yeah.
South America, different countries in South America. So it would be Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Mexico, America, and of course different countries in Europe. Tunisia, Egypt, Dubai, and now Mongolia.
So you like you apply for the contest, or they contact you? You wanna
It could go both ways.
both ways. Okay.
I've been around so long, so I get invitations. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
And also I've been a desert guide in Morocco. So Morocco is sort of my second home from home.
Desert must be really special to race in.
Yeah, it's the Dakar Rally is all about desert racing.
How do
That's
you
how it
do
started.
when your car breaks down and no competitors are in there?
Then you have to call the organization and say we're stuffed here.
Okay, you can call people out
Yeah,
there.
we have
that's
satellite
good.
connection.
Awesome. And then you make föreläsningar, vad heter det? Speeches to people to inspire them to not only, I guess, in racing, but in everything in life and attitude like that.
And the funny thing is with the speeches is it was never on my map of life to become a public speaker, because at school I was sitting far away from the stage or the front line. I would sit back and do my own thing, so I was never center of attention.
Yeah.
And it only started because, of course, when I did my first Dakar back in 2002, and I started my own company. Also, I'm a graphic designer, so I work with marketing. But then, after doing my Dakar and World Championship rallies, of course, some of my motor clubs wanted to hear about the adventure, because not many people have done this.
Yeah.
And I went to Mount Everest with a motorbike as an expedition.
Okay.
So I started talking to the motor clubs, and of course the word spread. And then I got an award for being the Adventure Woman of the Year. It was in 2005. And the guy that won the male's prize, I was the female, he was a public speaker. So he introduced me to an agent, and then it just took off.
Okay.
So since 2005 I've been a professional public speaker.
And what's the main purpose with it? Is it like getting the butt out there and doing it, or what is the main focus?
In the beginning, I was just talking about my adventures, because it's a crazy story.
Yeah.
But then I remember the turnaround in the angle of the speech is I was going to have a speech for maybe 30 top management business women, and I was like, what will they benefit from me doing the Dakar Rally? They will never race the bikes in the Dakar, or they don't have a connection. So I just turned the whole aspect around and asked, what are the top questions that I always get asked? It's like, how did you start? Why did you do it? Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? So I started answering those questions, and then I started thinking that, yeah, but actually it's not that different from maybe being an entrepreneur, starting a business, or whatever that you want as your personal challenge. It's the same driving force. So now I realized being an entrepreneur, starting a company, or targeting a new market, it's exactly the same driving forces.
That's very interesting.
Yes. So and it's about, sometimes you have to, even if you have a company, just sit back and let everything run and become lazy, everybody else is gonna overtake you,
so that
or the
general-
terrain will change,
Yeah.
and you will die like a dinosaur. You know,
Yeah. So,
So-
that adaptation.
adaptation, and you know, there's so many. You can never be expert for the rest of your life. You always have to move to next level.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's also like gamification now.
Gamification. What is that?
Gamification is now, you know, all the kids now are playing games, and it's different levels, and you get hooked. And to become an expert, you have to challenge the next level.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about this in business life also. Businesses need to adopt, not all of them maybe, but to the thought of gamification. It is you need to challenge yourself, get next level, and that's the way how you push yourself. And also it is a driving force. And it's the same thing with off-road rallies. Always next level, next game, next world map.
Yeah.
So
It must be very different. Do you rally in snow, something desert,
Everything.
mountain? It must be you must adapt a lot.
adapt a lot.
And you change the tires, I guess, and
Yeah, everything. Change teams.
change teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you
not
have
always with the same people. Like now I went to Mongolia. I've never met anyone before. And the woman that I was racing with, it was 2 and 2 in the car. I've never met her before.
Yeah.
And within one day, you already have to make a team and you have to trust each other.
Yeah.
And when things start getting under pressure, all your bad sides will surface, you know.
Yeah.
And you need to be really aware about how you react to problems or setbacks or when you're stuck. And I know I'm calm. I don't freak out. Because it's easy when it's easy, but when the shit hits the fan, the shit hits the fan.
And that's when you're the real character.
I think that's when you can prove if you're a winner. It's not when it's easy, it's when it's tough. And all business owners or top in whatever area, top people, it's not about how good they are, it's how well they overcame the setbacks, how they bounce back.
Yeah, I really think it lies something in that.
Because you can't win if you haven't had failures, you know.
I listened to a funny video with Jim Rohn, and he said, I will beat you at this so you will lose, because you learn more from losing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Får man säga grattis eller vad ska man säga?
Juhu! Mwah! Mwah!
Ni hör inte vad jag säger. Av med lurarna nu. Är det så där ni kommunicerar när ni sitter i bilen?
Ja, när vi sätter oss i bilen så kopplar vi upp oss.
Ja.
Och då säger jag välkommen in i lurarna.
Ja.
Och så börjar vi prata.
Så är det den världen som gäller.
Och det roliga är att när man pratar i sån här mikrofon och headset, då känns allting väldigt viktigt. Så att även om vi pratar helt andra saker så känns det väldigt viktigt.
Ja, det är eran värld.
Det är eran värld, man kliver in i en bubbla.
Men grattis än en gång. Grattis.
Tack!
Berätta, hur gick det till?
Ja,
Det är ju du som har gjort det.
Ja, jag får ju säga att det var en rivstart på många sätt. För att jag har haft en växellåda som har strulat min bil. Så att jag trodde inte ens att jag kunde köra tävlingen. Och sen i veckan innan så fick jag tag i en speciell växellåda. Men så var det problem med den ändå, så det var verkligen sista minuten.
Ska vi backa lite ännu längre tillbaka? För ni möttes alltså på Almedalsveckan, eller hur?
Nej, vi möttes upp i Åre.
Åre för.
När vi körde roliga Audi-bilar på isen och sladdade runt sig.
Ja.
Och då?
Ja, och då träffades vi och då visade det sig att Katrin också kör motorcykel och det är ju det jag har tävlat i. Men jag har lite låg profil där och jag snackade om konstnär och det var en helt annan värld. Men vi hittade varandra där någonstans i mixen. Ja.
Men det var lite så här, men vad kör du håll, men vad kul, vi kanske ska köra någon gång. Så jag kommer hem, så fick jag en stryk av min man, bara, vet du inte vem Annie Seel är? Så jag bara, oj. Och då sen förstod jag att jag kunde typ mycket om det.
Och sen så fann vi det här och jag ska måla en tavla för världens barn i höst. Och då tänkte jag, shit vad bra, Katrin kan coacha mig i det. Och så vi har träffats och bara snackat lite om det. Och sen har det växt fram och nu när jag behövde en kartläsare så tänkte jag att jag vill göra det här till en rolig grej och bjuda in någon i min värld istället. Och jag hade sån tur att hon sa ja. Alltså så här, tjoho, nu kör vi. Hon har ingen aning om vad hon sa ja till. Men det är positivt.
Har ni haft roligt då?
Alltså, det var sån här känslospann. Det var så skratt, gråt, förtvivlan, var skitförbannad igår när det var några killar som halkade i diket. Och istället för att vänta på liksom nästa sekund.
Att vi passerar dem.
Så körde de upp och som världens dammoln. Och då är det bara tuta allt vi kunde. Och då är det verkligen...
Jag var helt galen för jag var så laddad. Och vi kom ju inte om dem då. Så att då sitter man där och minuterna tickar.
Stämmer att de saknade broms till och med?
Ja, det var en bil som vi låg efter om en hel dag. Och jag tappade flera minuter. Men så tänkte jag, shit, vi kör vårt race ändå då. Så att ha roligt. Men det har ju varit från första sträckan 30 sekunder innan start.
Här ser vi faktiskt lite bilder
Ja,
när vi kör.
då sitter Katrin och grinar i bilen. Får inte få på sig bältena. Ja. Så att,
det var som ett litet barn.
Här kommer vi, kolla där i min lilla skruttibang-bang. Toyota Starlet.
Var det här igår?
Ja, det kanske kolla där. Tjoho vad det går. Och jag har lärt mig att göra handbromssladdar.
Ja, men jag hörde det var någonting med en höbal åkte förbi.
Ja, visst. Och man ska vända runt dem där. Ja. Och fort ska det gå. Och snävt och trångt är det. Kolla, det där måste vara igår. För där har jag bra sprutt.
Det bästa jag har lärt mig, det är så här... hårnål, vänster. Då går det som att vägen går så, och så. Och då vet jag att jag ska säga det. Då vet jag, då kommer komma en så här.
Då vet jag att jag ska göra det.
Har du aldrig varit rädd?
Alltså faktiskt inte en enda gång.
Inte någonting?
Jag bara kände så här, fast jag litar på henne. Jag kände så här att jag tänkte så här flera gånger, men ska jag inte bli rädd nu? För det går blixtsnabbt i de här smala vägarna. Det kanske kommer en liten farbror med rullator. Alltså man vet ju inte. Men nej, faktiskt inte. Jag bara kände en livsglädje. Det är
ju fortare jag åkte, desto mer skrattade hon. Hon skrattade så i lurarna.
Kanske lite av nervositet då egentligen.
Hon var efter första sträckan, förstår du, i torsdags morse när vi åkte ut på första sträckan, då hon aldrig åkt en riktig rallysträcka i hela sitt liv. Det är första gången.
Bra jobbat. Tack.
Första gången ska hon försöka guida mig igenom det här. Det blir lite huller och buller. Så att jag är ju beredd, jag kör ju med den marginalen ändå. Men sen under dagarna nu så har det ökat
bättre
på.
Och bättre.
Ja, och nu har vi har legat riktigt på program. Så vi har showat för publiken. Sista dagen fick vi ha lite fokus på navigeringen. För Katrin har ju suttit så här och hejat på publiken.
Alltså, så ont i armen, så att vevat i vägen. Säg hej till publiken. Jag ska leva ner rutan. Och då fick vi lite så här varningsfinger från vår servicebil.
Ja.
Inte göra så.
Alltså ni vann ju då damklassen. Ja. Herrklassen då, hur gick det där?
Ja, det var spännande in på sista sträckan. Alltså 18 sträckor vi åkt och det skilde...
Kenneth Bäcklund ledde, va?
Kenneth Bäcklund är från Vara. Och han åker bil på 2 hjul och är helt suverän. Han ledde. Och så hade vi unga Patrik Sandell som har vunnit junior-VM 2006 och nu tävlar i USA. Liksom vinner. Hoppar in i en sån här gammal Porsche som är liksom lite historisk. Mycket äldre än vad han är typ. Och han ligger och jagar och på sista sträckan avgörs det för att Kenneth drar på sig en tjuvstart. Och då är det...
vad bittert!
Så att jag lider när det ska bli en sån grej att man inte får racea. Men så är det. Man måste ha liksom 10-delar, 100-delar på sin sida och inte febra ur eller tabba sig.
Får jag fråga, alltså Björn Valdegård och Stig Blomqvist, gamla världsmästarna, har varit med. Hur gick det för dem?
Ja, Stig Blomqvist, jag tror han blev topp 10 i alla fall. De hade problem med slutet i början med ett bränslesystem som strulade. Men de körde upp sig så de vann ju sin klass då och var ju topp 10. Och vi snackade lite om att bytlåna kartläsare.
Alltså livrädd. Jag bara,
Katrin,
kolla på det här. Det kommer lösa sig i varje kurva.
Men du har liksom blivit blomman med de andra förarna. Det är
ja, jag tror alla förarna. Och jag kan säga, för mig då, Katrin, hon har ju satt sån färg på den här tävlingen. För att jag är ju väldigt rutinerad och kör alltid själv. Och få med den här energikicken och färgklicken och allting har varit chockrosa. Under den här tävlingen.
Vilka fina ord det får.
Jag måste bara säga en sak. Alltså det låter som kärleksförklaring som att nu är vi ihop liksom, men så är inte. Men alltså,
det är vi ju.
Okej, lite. Men när vi sitter i bilen och ser den här totala kontrollen, lugnet, bara 30 sekunder innan vi ska gå på. Det handlar verkligen om liv och död. Där sitter jag och gråter bakom mina glas. Jag vill inte visa att jag gråter för att jag får inte på de här då får jag panik. Och jag känner att jag måste bara, och så tårna rinner och då ser du det så bara, lilla gumman, det här löser vi. Det är pytteenkelt.
Underbart. Vad kul att ni kom tillbaka, tjejer. Och stort grattis till er seger.
Tack!
Tack
till publiken.
So, is there any like magical patterns? Maybe a little bit of a law in the universe or something that you've used during your career over and over again and like this is really working that you've noticed?
Yes, absolutely. I believe in angels. There will always be helpers out there, but you just don't know who they are and what they look like. But I've also found out that words are like magic. If you start talking about what you want, what your dream is, suddenly some universal forces will start to attract to you, and it will start pushing or pulling you the way you want to go. So, because how does it work? It's like if you say, I want this, and you're clear about it, I want to do this rally, this Dakar rally. I don't have a clue how to get there, but I want to do this. But then someone that also has this, Dakar rally, will tap in to what's happening, and you maybe connect. And then you start pulling it forwards that. And then someone else like, but I can do this. And then you start getting more and more power into where you're going. So...
well, what's some of the words that you usually use or have used in the past?
It is like when I said I wanted to do the Dakar rally, everybody thought I was crazy in the beginning here in Sweden, because nobody had a clue what it was. But
so it's like, I want to do the Dakar.
Yeah, it started happening. I would like to do it. You know, it's crazy, and it's the world's toughest race. But then I was in Morocco on the desert tour, and I realized, actually I could do this. And I got back home all fired up because I could feel it in my body. I have to do it, but I couldn't talk about it about people in Sweden because they wouldn't understand. So the world market was there, and the company I was traveling with in Morocco, they totally believed in me, so they helped me. And they helped me all the way for many years. So sometimes, because the people that are closest to you or on your home street don't know what you're talking about, it's because they don't realize you have to make the call out bigger to realize your dream.
So it basically goes out there in the universe somehow.
It is,
And then it starts to orchestrate with random events, and then finally the dots will connect somehow.
So don't let other people discourage you, you know, because they don't know best either.
And like you can, many people say that you have a want, you don't know how to do it, but you don't have to worry about how to do it exactly. You just start doing, and it will develop during the way.
I'm totally a believer of that. You don't need to be an expert to start. You can be total novice taking the first step. You will learn during, the road or route to wherever you go. Maybe the route will be longer, because you start way back. But next time you do it, you're already there. It will be so much easier. So.
Hej! Vi kör nu! Vi tar en liten walkabout. Kolla läget här borta. Svetten rinner. Och Annie, känns det bra? Sanden?
Ja, det känns jättebra. Det kommer bli sjukt varmt.
Okej, vi har massa här vatten. Och chips och kakor och vi har lite allt möjligt här.
So to take a little funny question. If you would go to a ball with the king and queen, would you wear a rally jacket or would you have a dress?
Actually, it has already happened. I have been to Royal Ball, and I was wearing a dress like a princess, and I had my hair up, and that's why I call the rally princess, because I think I can do both. And it is also about, you don't have to be either or anything. I believe in you can be both or everything you want. It's like me. I can walk in high heels and I can change a tire. It's not
limiting
either.
Yourself.
No, don't limit yourself. And I want to be pretty sometimes, and really nice dress, and ready for party. But I don't mind out there in the desert. I sleep in the tent. Don't shower for 3-4 days. I'm fine with that also.
Enjoy every moment.
Every moment. That's life.
And if you know, sometimes people have big dreams, they go for it. Maybe they are, playing American football, they get tackled, and now they can never play it again. So what would you do if you can never do rally now? Like, is there something else, and what would you say to yourself? Okay, fuck, this didn't go now, but I will do this now with the same passion or something.
Yeah, and it has actually already happened. Because I used to race the motorbikes for 25 years and I crashed a lot. I got like 30 fractures. And I totally smashed my shoulder in 2012. And it took me 1 year before I had reconstruction surgery. So I couldn't race the bikes. And when I got back, I decided I will race cars instead, because then you sit in the cage and you don't have to bounce off your shoulders when you crash.
Yeah.
So actually, I did change my focus from two-wheel racing, motorbike racing, into four-wheel racing, cars.
So you readapted there, yeah.
I readapted, and I was thinking, well, if I can't really be doing the rally cars, I will do something else that still challenges my adventurous side. I have the need for speed, or I like motorsport, but it's also about, I've been coaching in drivers training, and I have a rally school for beginners.
Awesome.
And I do only Women's Day, where only female students come to my school. It's just a one-day course, so it's not like students. But I have theory and like driving philosophy, and then they do also driving on the track, how to brake and how to turn and how to communicate with the car. Because the car doesn't know what you want to do, so you have to be very specific in the communication.
Yeah, and that's also a big thing, I think, giving back and teach others, help them up, and see the joy of them.
Yes, pass it on. Now pay it forward.
Yeah.
And I think also because motorsport is very, of course it's expensive, but it's also very inclusive. It doesn't matter if you're man, woman, tall, short, even you can have some disability, but you don't have to be so strong. You can adapt the car so you can still drive it,
Cool.
like with automatic or different levels on the hand, on the steering wheel.
Men då, en till.
Shit, den tajta lilla rallyprinsessan.
Måste ha något som dämpar när du sitter. Där. Ner nu. Lite nöjd med, titta ut lite. Där ja. Och så vrider du runt hjälmen. Där ja, så. Så jävligt nöjd.
So what was the, I guess you were pretty down there for a bit when you hurt your shoulder. How was the thinking? Of course it's probably negative thoughts coming from everywhere. What did you say to those thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. It was end of life as I knew it. And there's a fair deal of sorrow, and you have to realize, okay, that part of my life is over, and then you have to rethink, what can I do that is fun, adventurous, and all my abilities, how can I get them to the maximum use in the new terrain, new level, whatever. And I found, of course, I could drive the cars. And but of course, it's tough. For 25 years, this was my life.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not easy. It's not like someone's going to give you the perfect answer, but it's a process you have to do yourself. Absolutely. Or if you have mentors, some mentoring or coaching, but you have to, I think you have to speak frankly with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to decide you want to do something new. There is always a new challenge.
And if you are in the beginning of something or something you want to do, but also in this manner, like how do you overcome fears of the new and comfort zones and the barriers like that? Do you have any, like how to win the mind game and start a new journey, not from, you know, when you have hurt yourself maybe, but just someone sitting at home now feeling scared?
Yes, and I feel scared too many times. That's why actually my book is called Nobody Remembers a Coward. And that is that actually you have to overwin yourself all the time. And I remember when I started my racing career, I don't have so much experience, so it needs more courage. But then in mid-career, when you're at the peak, you don't want failure, so that's another fear. And now when I'm older than that, there's another fear that can I still push myself to the top limit? So there will be fear always, and you just have to overcome it and just trust that you still can challenge yourself. And it's always about challenging yourself.
It's like a muscle you build. Like you will always feel the fear from the amygdala, from the brain, but you learn how to handle it better and better all the time. From experience,
And also I have this maybe mental setup that I don't care if I fail, as long as if I enjoy it, I will still do it. If like, let's say I want to become a high jumper, you know, jump as high as possible, and I'm too short. But if I think it's fun to jump or be a pole, you know, the pole vault, I would do it, you know, just for fun.
Yeah, not taking everything so seriously.
No,
also.
so don't. I mean, if you set the goal that you will only do it if you win, you limit yourself very much, because maybe you won't win for a long time until you get good enough or have the right surroundings to be the number one. So as long as I develop and challenge myself and have fun, I will do it. Yeah,
and as I talked a little bit in the radio show, like dare be horrible at something, and not you know, care so much about judgmental of people. Like take it like, I sucked.
Yeah.
I'm new. What can I do?
Yeah, I think so. And also I think if you stay true to that, that acceptance will be higher. You know, if you just say, okay, I'm not an expert. You know, be open with that instead of trying to be something you're not. So
I think I watched a video where they say, like, if you read, like, I don't remember exactly the time, but if you read like 2 pages or 10 minutes, or maybe it was 30 minutes a day from a book, in 5 years you will be a world expert in that field.
Yeah.
So not like, oh, I gotta read everything about motorsports in 1 week. Boom.
No.
Like, take your time, do a little bit all the time.
Yeah. Every step that brings you a tiny step forward is still a step forward.
Bruce Lee also has a cool quote on that. Rather 1 kick 1,000 days than 1,000 kicks 1 day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how it is. And also, of course, if you can be totally focused and just do your thing all the time, congratulations. But not many people have that choice. There's other things, aspects in life that invade your space and time.
Yeah.
And you have to juggle it.
Yeah.
I've never been professional in the beginning, not really a professional now. I have to juggle things to get the time to do my rallies. Because I also have a job, I have a company, I do the marketing, I do the speeches. So I can't just focus on racing the cars every day from morning to evening. So, and there's family and friends and all that. So.
And I'm gonna ask you in a little while about how to juggle it. Good. So, yeah, how do you handle family, sleep, having friends still? You don't want to be forgotten about all your friends, and then like you're super successful but all alone maybe, or maybe you have to do that for certain times. I don't know. What's your take on it?
Yes, of course. Family, of course, is the most important, and my family is always my mother and my sister always supported me. My father died when I was only 16, so he's never been around, sadly, because he was the one that loved motorsport. And also, I actually, when he died, I got his toolbox. So I do all my own mechanicking.
He must be very proud.
He's up there, he's one of the angels, I totally believe, and he's fast enough to follow my racing. And in a way, I never grew up because I don't have a family of my own in that sense. I don't have any children. And that's maybe because I want the toys, you know, all the toys for myself. So I don't have any children. But of course, I've had relationships and stuff. But yes, I have sacrificed my family life for my sport. I know many, especially women, when they, in the motorsport, when they start a family, they will not be at top level anymore. And that is because I actually risk my life when I go to a big race. And I think when you have a family, you have to rethink. But the funny thing is that my male competitors, friends, male friends in the competition, they don't have a thought about the family. They still race at top level. So I think there's a difference between women and men. And that's because there's actually women that give birth to a baby. They know how hard it was. So they're not going to risk anything. And of course, there's a difference in focus when you get family and children. And friends, of course, I have racing friends. So they totally know what I'm about. Yeah. And my best friends, we ride the motorbikes or travel together. Of course, I don't go out and party as much. But sometimes, of course, I will go out and party with them. And they know that I'm somewhere out in the world doing a rally. And when I come back home, we have a get-together or dinner. So I have many good friends from many, many, many years. So awesome. They're always there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. And how do you handle the tiredness? I mean, you race for weeks sometimes, and that must really, as we speak about earlier, like when all the negative thoughts come, is it nutrition a lot of there, or just routines build up structure, or is it only mind game there, or?
Especially in the Dakar Rally. The Dakar Rally is 2 weeks. And 10,000 kilometers. That's about a quarter lap around the world in 2 weeks. And you ride or drive your car from anything from 6-7 hours to 24 hours a day. And you can do that for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, but then everything gets you. You sleep deprivation, you are hungry, you start making mistakes because your brain is, playing games on you. And I have found out that's where my strength is. Where most people just start breaking down little by little. I'm still there. Nothing gets me. Even if I stay up all day, all night, and we've been fixing gearboxes in the middle of the desert, I just don't lose it. I don't.
Is it just you as a person, or you developed it so in many small steps during the years it's hard to say in a word like that?
I was a pretty tough little girl already when I was a little girl, but I built on layer after layer after layer of toughness. And that's mental toughness. So Yeah, I would say it comes also with experience. When you have survived or gone through a lot of these, hardships, you learn also to believe in that you can survive the hardships.
Overcoming that weak little voice inside.
Yes. And also, it doesn't mean that you can't sit down and cry and feel sorry for yourself for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even a day or two. But then you have to get back on it. Otherwise, you're going to drown in the shit.
Yeah, not like totally ignore it and
No.
pretend it's not
No,
there.
no.
Acknowledge it, handle it,
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah.
Or around or over it.
So what's a favorite meal? And maybe you have a ritual before every race.
No, because my races are so long, you have to eat during the race.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I would say, what gives the most energy? It's fat. Yeah. So it has to contain fat, and because it's so hard on your body physically, you need protein, of course. So I would say a good rally breakfast is bacon and egg.
Bacon and egg.
Yeah, that's fat and it's protein and it's a bit salt because you sweat a lot. So you need to refill the salt. So that's good, absolutely. You're gonna laugh now, but pizza is also good. Because it's fat and it's a lot of energy. It's easy to eat. So otherwise I eat a lot of vegetables in my normal life, because rally breakfast is a rally breakfast. I don't have it every day, so it's only for rallies.
So if you're going hardcore, going into the fight, bacon and egg.
Yeah, fat and protein. And if you want to make it vegetarian, do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, what would you
In my
take
normal
then?
life,
Like broccoli, maybe for protein?
broccoli, beans and all that.
Fat.
Yeah.
What can you use for fat?
It's all kinds of oils. All kinds of oils.
Yeah, like olive oil or like
olive
coconut
oil.
oil.
Yeah, everything.
And then you just drink it.
Yeah, or spread it dip bread in olive oil.
I usually eat peanut butter. Is that a good?
That's good. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So, because in my normal life, everyday life, I'm not a full vegetarian, but I don't really eat a lot of meat. But when it's rally, bacon and egg is very easy.
Yeah, it's good, fast, easy.
Yes.
1980. aastal. Number 8, Seel, Gorilen, Underbake. Anni, fans are waiting. Anni on see kõva naine, kes siis Dakari rallil varasemalt mootorrattaga startinud. Eelmisel aastal oli esimest korda stardis ka siin. Anni, how do you feel?
Oh, it's great to be here. Last year I had a fantastic rally, and I would say to come here on your very fast and very fun roads. I've been waiting 1 year to come back.
And what do you expect from this weekend? To win or to have fun or?
I have tough competition this year from the little yellow and red starlet behind me, but first you have to finish, then we can say who is winning.
Anni, best of luck to you.
Thank you!
Anni Seel, Gorilen, Underbake. Ja tõepoolest maailmas ei ole palju naisi, kes on kuulsa Dakari kõrberalli läbinud. Anni on seda teinud tsikliga 5 korda. Ja eelmisel aastal oli tal siis esimene kord autoga Dakaril ka startida, aga paraku jäi see tookord katki.
And now is it anything you need maybe from someone out there, or do you have any upcoming race? Maybe you need an assistant. Where can people find you speaking soon?
Yes, I do speeches like every 2 weeks somewhere, but most are for close groups. So I don't have an open speech now that I know. Maybe up in Gävle. It's actually about entrepreneurship for people that have come to Sweden. They just moved into Sweden maybe a year or a couple of years ago. So I will talk about that and the challenge of that.
So people can just book you on your website and then you'll travel to get there.
Absolutely. And then what's coming up, I just came back from Mongolia now, and I'm helping a team for the Dakar 2020 that will be in Saudi Arabia. I'm not racing myself, I'm helping a team. And then in Morocco in March, there is an all women's rally called the Gazelle Rally, and it's celebrating its 30th anniversary. And 180 all-women teams are on the starting line.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic race because it's all about navigation. It's not about speed. It's about teamwork and getting to the exact point in the desert with the least kilometers. So it's a real challenge.
How huge is this map?
Well, of course, it's a map, and they have to plot the route with the coordinates. And then I have some rallies, local rallies. So there's always something going.
But how many kilometers do you drive in that rally, you think?
I don't know, but I know it's for 10 days.
Yeah.
So maybe it's 200 kilometers, 400 kilometers a day. In one day.
Yeah.
And I know a couple years ago, or maybe just a few years ago, the difference between the winning team and the second was 40 meters.
Ooh.
The difference on the kilometers on the clock.
Yeah. Are you all racing together? So they were like 40 meters behind you, or?
No, it's every day they just sum up what you get. So sometimes one is ahead and the other one is behind them. You don't know. Maybe someone goes that way and then someone else goes that way. And then when you add up the kilometers, it was 40 meters difference.
So is it something you need? Maybe a sponsorship or a person or something, or you have everything?
I always need sponsorship. I always need financing, absolutely. And I actually offer sometimes that if someone sponsors me, I can take them with me as my co-driver. And they will have the adventure of a lifetime.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like an adventure. Someone jump on that right now.
Yes. Yeah, be my co-driver.
And I thought, why not touch quickly on your marketing? Like when you are home, you design your marketing and then you put it out where? I guess you have a pretty special way of marketing from other businesses, or is it?
It's actually the marketing I do is not so much for myself, it's for companies.
Okay.
So it's not about me.
Is it designing or is it?
Yeah, designing also.
And then they solve where to put it. They choose that.
Yeah. For an example, I have a client that are in the interim management business. So I have them producing ads on the website and content for their campaign. Has nothing to do with me at all.
And that you learned how? Just by trial and error, or?
I have a degree in marketing and business administration.
Okay.
So I know what I'm doing. But then graphic design, I just had the eye for it. I don't know. I started drawing when I was a little girl and I just went up from that. So that's just experience.
And slowly get that experience. And then don't be afraid to educate yourself a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, do it all. I mean, do everything.
Yeah.
If you have a feeling for something, just do it. Don't let not having an education stop you. But then if you need something, just add it on. Put it in your toolbox. You know, everyone has a personal toolbox, and just fill it with all the things you want and just do it.
You might just have an interest, and then that little interest turns to a valuable skill later. Yeah,
you'd be surprised how many skills that you don't normally think you put on a CV, but it's actually the things that make you unique or successful or whatever you think of.
So is it something you think that I've missed? Some question I should put in this interview?
Wow, there's been so many, and there's been big questions, so I think you've covered most of it. Absolutely.
Awesome. If you guys out there have some questions, write them in the comments and we can pass them forward to Annie, and maybe she can answer them later on. As always, stay blessed, always be your best. Max Thorin out. Thanks you a lot.
Thank you. Bye bye guys. See you out there somewhere. Hopefully.
Här står jag med Annie Seel som bland många är en riktig hjälte och förebild i Sverige och runt om i världen till och med. Ofta så ser man kanske bilder på någon nationell sändning eller till och med internationell sändning. Men nu har vi dig här i Älmborgs monter. Hur kommer det sig? En Dakarförare i en tandläkarmonter och tandläkarmässa?
Det är faktiskt en av de kanske mer vanliga frågorna jag får. Hur kan det komma sig att en tandläkare sponsrar Dakarrallyt? Och egentligen så är det inte så himla konstigt om man har det intresset. Och Lars Elmborg gillar när det är fart och fläkt. Han gillar drag och driv. Och så gillar han framåt tjejer som tar för sig. Och det kanske syns också på kliniken. Han är ju väldigt bra personal. Speciellt tjejer som är lite tuffa framåt. Så det är inte så himla konstigt att han satsar på mig faktiskt. Sen gillar han när det är lite spektakel. Alltså det ska inte vara riktigt mainstream. Så att jag får säga att jag passar in perfekt i Älmborgs andan.
Har du alltid varit så här, Annie? Har det varit från början så visste du att spektakel, full fart och ös ända från att du föddes?
Jag tror att man är född till det. Jag kallas ju nu för hela världens rallyprinsessa. En titel jag är väldigt glad och stolt över. När jag var liten så ville jag bli cirkusprinsessa då. Så man får säga att det har utvecklats under åren då. Det går bara fortare och fortare.
Hur är det ute på fältet om man säger? Är det tufft? Är det en stor mental prövning innan och efter? För jag förstår att under själva tävlingen är det. Men hur ser dina uppladdningar ut före och efter de här tävlingarna?
Ja, det är ett megaprojekt att dra runt där. Det är inte bara att ställa upp på startlinjen utan man ska, som jag bygger min egen motorcykel så jag är ju hantverkaren bakom att jag ens kommer till starten. Då. Sen så är det en stor del av finansieringen, det är ute och håller föreläsningar, vi har gjort personalevent med Älmborgs bland annat. Och så är det väldigt mycket träning då.
Vad skulle du vilja skicka med till dem som kanske inte riktigt vågar ännu?
Jag skulle säga att man kan så otroligt mycket mer än man någonsin kan fantisera om. Alltså det gäller att utmana sig själv. Alla pratar om att man ska bli en vinnare, men det största segern är ju faktiskt vinna över sig själv och ge sig själv den här stora klappen på axeln att shit, det här gjorde du bra. Jag menar, det har tagit mig många motgångar, många starter i ökenrally innan jag äntligen kunde vinna damklassen som jag gjorde i år då. Och resan dit har ju faktiskt varit en väldigt stor del av mitt liv. Och jag har tagit de små segrarna på vägen. Så man ska inte vara rädd för utmaningarna.